Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle.
Well, the fun can continue at school, too. There's a group called Circle of Friends, and it's working to improve the K-12 experience for children with autism. The program helps create a network of inclusion between students with disabilities and their classmates. And facilitators are trained to help students increase the quality of their social interactions and also prevent bullying, create understanding. Joining me now is Mary Schlueter, who is a Circle of Friends facilitator in Omaha. Thank you so much for being here, Mary.
Sure.
And I want to tell you, she's not just a facilitator, she actually created this program and the model for everyone to use in the area. This is fantastic. How long ago did you start this?
I would say approximately 15 years ago in Nebraska.
What was it that made you say, we need this?
Well, I was 14 years old when one of my cousins was born, so I was old enough to remember what his childhood was like, and I also have a brother about the same age too, so there was a lot of back and forth between our houses. And I was very much a part of knowing that he was different. He had some special needs, but back then we didn't know what autism, high-functioning autism, Asperger's syndrome was, so he never really got the social skill training that he needed. As fate would have it, I was a brand new special education teacher, and he was my student, and so we focused on academics. We didn't realize, what the kind of social skill needs that they had. So I ended up in Nebraska and had a student years later very much like my cousin, and so I knew that we needed to do things differently for him to open up the social world.
And so over the last 15 years, Circle of Friends has just exploded. Where is it now? How many schools?
Don't quote me on it, but I think it's like 250-ish students across the state of Nebraska. Yeah.
You're impacting all those people. There's so much for families to think about when they have a diagnosis. Do they feel isolated? Do they feel alone?
I think it's difficult, yes, because their student, when they come to school, they know that they love their child. They know that their child has unique strengths like everyone else does, but sometimes they meet up against obstacles with their peers in school if their peers don't understand them. And they want the same things for their children, social integration and friends and all those things, just like anybody else does.
So what is Circle of Friends?
Well, it's a form of peer-mediated intervention where we train peers we provide an awareness piece so that they understand what autism is, and then we provide opportunities weekly for the kids to get together, and we'll do fun activities, we'll do social skill instruction, sometimes we'll do service learning projects, and those kind of things so that the kids get to, number one, understand their classmates and their differences, but also just to have fun together so they get to know each other and form some friendships.
Do you find students who are compassionate, who really want to do this kind of work?
Yeah, what I find is that when you provide education and information, even to young children, we have, this is a K-12 program in our public and private schools, it's not just for public schools in the area. I find that when you provide education and they understand what makes us all similar, unique differences, that kids will interact and be kinder with each other.
And it's not just for children who are on the spectrum, right?
Correct. We have what we call them our focus students, and those are the kids that we develop the circles for. But we have students with autism, Down syndrome, students with ELL, English language learners, who maybe are just new to the country and just learning, how to fit in the culture and all those things. So any child that really has a hard time on their own, breaking into those social groups, making friends.
So not only did you create the model for this program, but now you are spending time training people to create more circles. This is like a domino effect, right?
Right, yeah. We started with an 8-school pilot program maybe 10 years ago or so, and we do a yearly training now, and the word has spread. We present at the Autism Conference, and people can sign up if they want, a group in their school. We have support through the Autism Action Partnership, which is a nonprofit group in Omaha that has really helped the program a lot, and we've also, the Autism Spectrum Disorder ASD Network of Nebraska also helps run the program.
So if you want to be a moderator, what do you do?
You just have to sign up right now. There's sign-up season right now. Our new
You're recruiting.
We're recruiting. Our new I think it's May 31st, we'll have our training for new facilitators.
Okay.
So if they go to ASD Network, Circle of Friends,
Okay.
there's a link there. You just click on it and you can sign up. It's free, doesn't cost anything. We offer free training, and we also offer regional coaches,
Okay.
so that anyone starting a group is able to access that and access help throughout the school year. We also have a virtual learning community website where
Nice.
everyone shares what they're doing. So there's lots of ideas out there for people.
What would your typical circle gathering look like?
Well, we meet during our school-wide study hall. Some people
Okay.
meet at lunch, some people meet before school, after school, whatever works for them. We usually start with a conversation starter. Well, I'll put that up on the screen so the kids can chat while they're waiting. We have snacks for them, so they'll grab a snack, and then we'll just start the activity of the day, whether it's a game, whether it's a lesson, how to have a conversation, depending on what our focus and goal is for that day.
Right. Do you find that every child, every special needs child, every child on the spectrum can use that social interaction? Do they look for that?
They really do.
Do they enjoy it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, some are reluctant at first because
Okay.
social is not, their preferred activity. Maybe they haven't been successful. But all children, all people really crave connection and interaction with others. And so once you provide that for them, they will warm up and they'll participate.
Right.
I mean, kids ask all the time, what are we doing this week? What are we doing this week?
They're excited about it.
They are.
Yeah.
They look forward to it.
So you don't have trouble recruiting children?
Oh, for the peer mentors, no. We actually have parents asking us if their children can be peer mentors because they value that experience for their own kids. So we don't have a hard time recruiting. And once a program gets firmly established in a school, it's part of what you do, just like the speech team or the basketball
Sure.
team. Circle of Friends is a well-entrenched.
club.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a club in our school that everyone knows about.
Perfect. What do you want parents to know about children on the spectrum?
Well, that they're capable of just as much as anybody else is, and that schools are here to support them and to help provide their children with what they need. Because physical inclusion is not the same as social inclusion.
Right.
Just putting a child in a classroom with a child that does not have a kind of special need doesn't mean that those kids are interacting. And so I would encourage parents to make sure that that is part of their child's program,
Right.
to ask for it if they don't have it, and to look for those programs in their child's school.
And we talked a little bit earlier, but you talked too about how to teach children on the spectrum to have conversations, to talk about things that other people are interested in. And you practice that, right?
We practice it, we videotape it, we examine the videos that we
my
make of our
goodness.
conversations. Yeah, we sure do. We do a lot of that.
Lots of practice. Very good. Anything else?
I don't think so. I'm happy to help anybody with the Circle of Friends program. The ASD network in Nebraska is there to help.
Okay.
A lot of resources available.
What have you learned over the years? What do you think the most important thing is that you learned? Creating this program and educating yourself and now educating others.
I think that when you provide information and you provide education to kids about autism or other special needs, that they will rise to the occasion. And there's a ripple effect in a building that when you have 10 peer mentors and the rest of the student body watches them interact with kids that maybe no one did before, that everyone watches, and that ripple effect is very positive in
and
our
everybody
buildings.
learns and benefits. Very good. Thank you so much, Mary.
Sure. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.